Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Dutton-Lainson single-speed hand winch with an 1,100 pound capacity rating. Now this is going to be excellent for you guys looking to either get just a little bit of a utility winch on your trailer, or predominantly what we're showing it on here today, a boat, right? Getting your boat up onto your trailer in no time and making it just a little bit easier to do so. Which winch is right for you, right? The biggest thing is going to be how big is your boat, right? So once you do have that in mind, we're going to need at least half of our total weight of our boat kind of being covered by the capacity. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you get a 2,000 pound boat, you're gonna need a 1,000 pound winch at least to make sure that we are kind of being safe. Now, personally, and a lot of places will recommend that you need about 3/4 of that total boat weight, and that's just for safety, but mainly convenience. It's gonna be a lot easier to pull your boat in the more rated your winch is. So we are going to have an 1,100 pound rating with this guy, which is going to be excellent. So that is going to put us pretty much well up into those 2,000 pound boats. Again, probably going to be breaching a little bit into that 2,200 or so. Now, personally, 1,800 to 2,000 pounds probably going to be perfect for these guys. Honestly, we'll do you a decent job as we only have a single speed gear ratio or gear setting on here. Now that gear ratio is going to be a 3.7 to 1. All that means basically going to take us 3.7 times around with our handle to actually get one revolution of our drum. However, that's giving you that mechanical advantage that you're looking for, making it easier to actually get your boat on your trailer. So we are going to have a zinc tough plate finish on here. All that really is, we're getting this nice and galvanized so it's ready to hold up in those marine environments, especially where salt water is in play. Now I always recommend, if you are in those saltwater environments, spritzing it down a little bit just to get those corrosive elements off can be helpful. And a little bit of grease on these gears can go a long way down the line. We definitely don't have to be crazy as they are well lubricated to begin. Now the handle itself here seems to be actually a pretty decent grip. It is more just like a hardened plastic though, so maybe if this was super wet, it'd be a little harder to grab. It has some decent texture in there, and of course some ridges to go ahead and conform to our fingers. Now talking about the strap here though, this actually doesn't come included. We will need to purchase a cable or a strap separately. We'll break that down a little bit more in the install. Well, speaking of the install, it's really not going to take us too much time to get this winch on. Let us see how we can do that together. If we do have an older winch, hopefully we can go ahead and retain that hardware that's included. Now, if we don't have an old winch that we're replacing, we need to pick ourselves up some hardware, as we actually don't have any that comes with our winch. Now, you are going to need a 3/8 diameter bolt. Now, for length, we're really not going to need anything too crazy. However, it is going to be dependent on your own frame at home. Let's just make sure it can go through a mounting plate and our frame, and of course have the necessary threads to get our nut on. But all we have to do, walk it up and start getting it in place. Keep in mind here, we do have kind of a fixed mounting pattern here on our plate, so hopefully that can match up with your guys's at home. Again, these are pretty universal. If you guys have to though, we may need to do some custom drilling on our frame to get it to fit. We simply need to take our bolts. Of course, let's make sure we have a washer on one end. I find them to be very helpful. And here at the bottom as well. Can be a little difficult to get to, but just give yourself some patience and you'll have it in no time. Once we've hand tightened it pretty good, we can come back with the required tools and tighten it up all the way. To get your handle installed, simply slot it to where it'll slide right on, and then take your included nut, tighten it up, take a 3/4 inch socket and ratchet, and cinch it down. With our handle installed, it's time to go ahead and actually use our cable or our strap. Today, we are going to be utilizing the Dutton-Lainson 15-foot by 2-inch wide strap. Now, this polyester strap is going to be great for a variety of different uses, but by primarily these boats, because that polyester is going to be that seat belt material, not going to be damaging our boats, which is excellent. To get this in, we're simply going to take our included bolt here. We want to open up our strap, set it in just like so, and run our bolt through. With that nut secured, all we need to do is bring in our line. With our strap installed though, all that's left to do, of course, is just hook it right there on the tongue of our boat. That way, we're ready to start hauling it in. Well, as we saw, that install really doesn't take too much to actually get it in place. The biggest thing is making sure that we can secure that hardware. Overall, I think this winch is pretty decent. I like that 1,100 pound rating. For boats such as these, which are only about 1,200 to 1,500 pounds, it's gonna be excellent. Might be just a little bit overrated, of course, but it can make your life that much easier. Again, that higher rating, gonna make it a lot easier to actually crank it and get your boat in. Overall, really like that zinc plate in as well. Make sure that it actually is gonna be resistant, like I said, in those marine environments. Now, if you guys guys are experiencing yourself on a little bit of a bigger boat and want some more heavy duty ones, one you could look at is just going to be an upgrade to a 2-speed winch. That's basically going to give you a different gear ratio, making it a little bit easier to either pull in quickly or get that maximum mechanical advantage that we're looking for. Otherwise though guys, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Dutton-Lainson single speed hand winch with an 1,100 pound weight capacity rating. I'm Bobby, thank you for watching.